Hello, guys. Happy New Year to you all, and probably this is gonna be our last discussion for the year 2020. Sorry. Already we discussed this market. We discussed the swings, and then we explained this nodal points A, B, C, D. So we will not go through them again. But as we said, that as and when we have the time, we will do a second video to further explain explain the upcoming trend that we expect. So that is quickly what we want to do. We want to go through. So this part from A to B will not be part of our discussion now because, as we said, from A, B, and C, that is the swing from A, B to C, was one cycle which was completed, and the swing from C upwards is a new cycle or a new wave in progress. So this part A to B will not be part of our discussion today. Now, in in any wave, if we can measure the wave exactly, then we can make proof to whatever we claim. So here in the swing from B to C, we measured it in weeks. That is, we combined price and time, and we found the third dimensional value of the swing from B to C. So we had 1110.32 units of price time from B to C. And then from C to D, and point D is at this high, which was 26837. That was the high of point D. So from C to D is also another swing which had a magnitude 112.8. And then the swing from B to D. Maybe some new traders will say that there is no wave from B to D, but let's look at it this way. This is more or less like if we have a cube or if you have a square structure, and then this action is occurring at the surface or the face of the square structure. The action at the back of the structure is where we have B to D, where we don't see it, but that is the action at the back. So we measured also the wave from B to D, and we had 117.57 unit. 117.57 unit. Actually, we used the third dimensional measurement for these waves, so it's more or less like just a simple thing. Let's just illustrate it quickly. Let's use a triangle. So from point B to C, as we always do, this looks more or less like this is the wave. We have the price axis and the time axis. Then by Pythagoras, the hypotenuse of that swing is our third dimension, which is the hypotenuse of that swing. Then from C to D also quickly, we just indicate it this way, C to D. So this will be another dimension where the swing from C to D occurs at the hypotenuse of that swing. Then from B to D will be like that. So like this, and then this way. Just a rough sketch, so something like this. So in effect, we will realize that this action actually completed in a square structure, and the swings inside the square structure are the third dimensional values that we have just found. And if we look closely, we can see that in the time measurement we have 76 weeks and 36 weeks. That is from B to C is 76 weeks, sorry. And then C to D was 36 weeks. If we add it together, we have I think 115 weeks total from B to D here. We have 115 weeks. And then, so that means the base or the horizontal axis of this square is 115. If we measure the swing from C to D, that will be the vertical side of that same square, which is uh, 105, which is almost the same. So this action occurred in a square structure. And if we look closely at the values 117, 110, 112, they look almost similar, or they look equivalent. That means these three swings are three sides of an equilateral triangle. That is B, C, D, and B to D are three sides of an equilateral triangle. So quickly we just use a triangle, something here. If we have an equilateral triangle this way, then we know that all the sides are equal. All the three sides are equal. And then the angles subtended within the sides are 60 degrees equiangular, 60 degrees apart. So all the angles inside this are 60 degrees. If we calculate the angles here in this structure, then we will realize that all of them are almost 60 degrees apart. All of them are 60 degrees apart. Now, where we want to start the analysis itself. Now, we just delete these ones. Okay, let's keep them. Equilateral triangles in price action normally occur in pairs. Equilateral triangles normally occur in pairs. And then we can say that this one here is the first pair, is the first in the pair of the equilateral triangle. So that means we are going to have two triangles, and this is the first triangle which has just completed. And then uh, again, sorry, let's bring our triangle again. If we have the triangles, let's say this will be the first one. The second one will also be aligned. It can be aligned anyway, any direction. Let's say this direction, or it can rotate anyhow. So if we have this first side, or this first equilateral triangle, then the second one that we expect, the second equilateral triangle we expect, actually, to be honest, the first side of the second equilateral triangle is the most important. After that one is completed, the next swing can be projected perfectly. But first, the first side of that second triangle has to complete. Now, in this structure, the most common projection we can make for the second side is another triangle that will look something like this. Or let's say something like this. Let's bring it down. Okay. So let's say something, just a rough something. So we can have a second triangle that will look something this way. This is not drawn to scale, so it might not look the same. But if we look at these two triangles, this is how we can project them to look like. So that means that this second side of the triangle, this second triangle, the first side of that second triangle is what we have to be looking for now. And that side, we can conveniently project it this way. Conveniently, we can project this side that way. And then after that, we can have a correction back down. And then when we have that correction back down, then we can connect D. So this one will be E and F. Then we can connect D to F as the third side of that equilateral triangle. So that is why we advised that this in this market, it is not advisable to enter any sell trade because there are only two configurations for the triangle that we can project. One will be this way, one will be this way, and then a sharp spike that will go up, and then this wave here will connect to it like that. So we can have it this way. If we have it this way, then that means the first side has to come down and complete also the same range between 110, 117 units. Then we can project the second side to also complete the same range. Then the third side will just link D to that third side. This is one configuration, or as we said, we can have this and that. So let's just represent them by two different triangles. So you can have this and that as one configuration, or you can have this and that as another configuration. Let's change the colors, the two colors. Let's make one blue. Let's make this red. So these are the two configurations we can have. But currently, we would project that we only go with, we only go for now with this configuration here, because as we said, the price has just started a new cycle and we expect that we can have a correction, although, but this price trend will move up to complete the first side of the second triangle. Then in that way we will have, in that way we would have a straight, we will have a straight wave from point C going directly to point E at the top, which will be twice this range between 1110 and 117. So again, as we said, in this market, we are not looking for any sell entries. We are only looking for buy entries. There may be corrections along the way, but the primary trend of this market is a buy entry with target at the top of the current structure we have, which is 33423 price level. So that is all we wanted to explain. We are just a little bit down today, but forgive us, guys. We would start the new year more vibrant again. And then we will do more videos, we will do more discussions. So thanks for your time. Thanks for viewing and Happy New Year.